Hi and welcome to the eagerly awaited Frost rework video. I've just logged in. I got the experience for a primary weapon. I literally just went to equip the Bratton and I can't help but notice that the unequipped weapon here for the new Gorgon Wraith, as I say, it dropped yesterday, it has experience on it, but I've not used it ever, and I cannot understand how it got that unless the experience from logging in, because I had the Gorgon Wraith equipped, has for some reason gone on to the new one. That's definitely a job for a support ticket right there. Anyway, on to the Frost changes straight off. Now, we'll jump into the abilities when I can get in and actually show them, but the difference between Frost and, if I'll ever actually click on it, Mr. Over here, the difference is 25 extra shields, which actually means that Frost Prime is, for the first time since he was put into the game, is actually worth using now. Because the main reason I always used Frost over here over Frost Prime is simply because Frost has a lot more formers on him than Frost Prime does, but the difference between them was nothing. They were exactly the same stats. So I always just stuck with my Frost. The biggest difference that annoyed me was the pattern on the back here. If I didn't have the Sandana equipped, was much better on Frost Prime than it was on normal Frost. Also, thank you very much to Ali who has sent me the new Sandana here. I actually love the look of that thing. But the fact that Frost Prime now has extra shields is great. Keen-eyed people will also notice that the armor is no longer 180. It is in fact 300. So it is exactly double the armor from when I personally built my Frost and Frost Prime, because it has been buffed since then. So it used to have 150, now has 300, which makes him not as tough as you would actually think. The way Frost used to work was Freeze would do exactly that. As soon as I can find an enemy to actually hit with, there you go. It would freeze enemies in place, and sometimes it would actually kill them. Ice Wave, need some more enemies though, and there you are. Would literally just Ice Wave in front of you. Not such a great ability, to be honest. It was always massively overlooked. Snow Globe used to do that, which is just put a bubble up around whatever it is you're trying to protect. And Avalanche was just an area of effect that would freeze and then snowballs would come. Then they'll be unfrozen pretty instantly. He does have a passive ability that means, there it goes, I was wondering if it was actually going to capture that. Twice. On melee strikes, you now have a chance of freezing enemies, which is really actually coming in a lot more useful, and I'm seeing it a lot more than I first thought I actually would with Frost, which is great. And for the last three abilities, I actually recorded them a while ago, so the change to Frost Snow Globe, I know that was a hot fix before anybody mentions it, but I didn't at the time. Now, his first ability is the only one that actually kind of works the same as it used to. It freezes things that you shoot with it. This time didn't do that much damage, which is great, because that bit I had before of the old ones kind of sucked because it just instantly killed him. But as you can see, he's staying frozen for quite a while there. And again, but you would have noticed there, I wasn't actually aiming at the person I was shooting this at. Better than anything else is the fact you saw the Kubro hitting it, and the heavy gunner did not unfreeze. Stopped throwing grenades at me down there. So it doesn't actually have to hit what I'm aiming at to actually take Kubro, to take effect properly. But it helps that it's not like perfect aim. Ice Wave Rework is actually really effective. It seems more effective now because it does this, and that just looks amazing if we're honest about this. Not only that, but I have seen this thing take 90-degree turns to kind of hit enemies. Now, okay, mine isn't doing the most damage, but that's simply because I don't really have my build for dealing damage. I have mine set up for defense capabilities because this is a defense mission, which is not probably the best place to actually show this, but That is just lovely. It really is. Snow Globe's changes are actually quite funny because now it repels enemies. You can see the infected getting pushed back there. He's already dead because it actually does damage as it repels them. Let's go over here and do this one. Throw them against the wall, and usually when it actually works, they don't go flying up into the ceiling. They actually die. And now I have that here. I now need to get rid of that, which brings me on to the other change to Snow Globe. No timer. It has a health bar, but it doesn't have a timer anymore. So duration is not as needed. You'll notice by that effect there, I actually have chilling globe in here, but I think it's every fourth one should make one disappear. That's 4 individual snow globes, not 4 in the same. Now, casting one inside of another one is supposed to basically replenish its health, bring it back up to full health. One of the better things about Snow Globe, which is something I didn't know when I actually recorded the previous part of this, is it actually made me smile because shoot it with your first ability. Pop. You can literally pop your bubble. That is just okay. I have to admit I am using this for the first time, but still, that is absolutely awesome, and I'm glad I noticed before I actually finished this, because not knowing that would have made me look pretty stupid, especially considering I use Frost a lot. It was actually pointed out to me by Dynamo here and said he heard that you can pop the bubble using Freeze. He actually first said use Freeze on the bubble. I said why while doing it, and the bubble popped and my jaw just dropped. Especially considering update 17 has been out for a week now, over a week if I'm honest, and I never thought of doing this. Avalanche is also really well done, because if you cast it you'll notice they're alive but they're frozen in place for a small amount of time. This is something that was added a while ago but was taken out pretty quickly, and the gun I'm actually using here is level 30 but for some reason doing absolutely no damage. But the fact it'll now freeze them in place means on the higher level missions you can actually freeze them and they'll take damage while frozen, which is really nice. That is something Avalanche had a long time ago that just it was added as if it was a mistake, and then now it's been put back in. I am going to use Avalanche a lot more. All in all, his abilities are great. You can use the bubble to like repel people, and sometimes they'll actually smash off a wall, which is great. The snow globe can be destroyed with the first ability, Freeze. Freeze works much better than it used to. Avalanche, freezing things in place for a short amount of time after it's been used, is something Frost once had for a short period of time. And when this happened, I used the hell out of it and was really disappointed that they removed it again. But to see that return in itself just made Frost great, because you can freeze them in place and your Kubro can kill things behind you while you're not paying any attention at all. But just every ability in itself works just so well now over what it used to. The bubble in itself is so much more useful now. It repels enemies when if they're inside the area when it's going to be cast. It'll just push them back, and that is absolutely great. So all in all, this rework was really well done. I won't deny it though. I was disappointed not to see a Prisma skin, the same as Excalibur got when he got his rework. But Excalibur's rework was a lot more intensive than Frost's. Frost's just... I'm going to shoot you towards the wall. Right, round the corner. Look at where he ended up. I love that. And being a Frost user, because I do use Frost a lot, I was quite happy that the changes were subtle but effective, and the increased armor was great, because now the bubble should, in theory, have more strength to it, even though it still goes down. And the fact the bubble didn't disappear when it hit 0 health has now been fixed as well, which was an issue when I recorded some of the earlier stuff. And it is a really decent rework to them, and I'm enjoying it a lot. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.